Hi, and welcome to another update in the Unity UI Extensions project. Here we are now already at update 106. We've got a host of new controls and we've even got some new shader-based controls. Shaders aren't the easiest of things to get to work in the new UI system because of the way the coordinate systems work, but some brave souls have gone out there, done the hard work, and now you can reap the benefits by seeing how they've done it. Quick note is that always remind you that if you're using Unity 4, to use the version 4 of the asset. 5.1, that small window of 5.2 when the API didn't change, or it changed enough or didn't change again, between 5.20 and 5.21 base. Anything from 5.1 patch version and onwards, make sure you use the 5.3 asset. And also when 5.3 comes out, it's fully tested and will work there. Now, this being an update, we'll just do a very high level overview of each of the new features, and then we'll have in-depth videos separately up on the site when I can get time. This is bearing in mind that it's pelting down with rain here on my roof, hopefully, and it's obviously that time of year. So fingers crossed I don't get any more children running in and out. This is now the 4th time I've recorded this in its entirety. But anyway, jumping over. So you can see here with the package installer, you can see what version you're running using the package version file. And first control I'm going to show you is the ReOrderable List. As with all the controls, there's several examples of how you can set this up. Don't have to use it this way. This is just to show you how they work and interact. Pretty much the same as the way Unity does with a lot of their controls. I'm going to throw 3 down here. So I'm going to a vertical, a horizontal, put over there, and also a grid. Because we like variety. There's also, you see, there's versions with and without the scroll rex to show how you can have different ways of different workings. And if I run this, then you'll see that here I go. So I can take it out and it will reorder the list based upon where I drag it. I can move it to another container or even to a final one there. This is all driven through all the options on the script itself. So we've got items to note whether it's draggable. So can I take an item out of the list? I can still drop, but I can't take an item out. Whether or not it's cloned or not. So whether, as we saw before, I took an item out of the list, or whether it's a clone. So I create a copy out of that list to put in somewhere else. But then I can't, and then I can put it back in. Or if you turn off dragging. And also then whether it's droppable or not. So I can take items out of a list, fine, but then can't put items back in. Things like that. You can also control zones in the area where things will drag and drop to. And there's also a multitude of these new Unity events attached to these. So you can see when things have been dropped in a container, when things have been grabbed, and then when things are actually removed from a list. A few different variations you can play with. I'm hoping we make use of that. So next one we want to show is the fixed item scroll. And this is effectively another version of the scroll snap controls. Different implementation, different way. Someone wanted a different way of doing it. So it's different. Did I say it's different? I mean it's different. So as to a single and a multiple, there's also a vertical version as well. Again, just examples to show you how they're set up, how to best work with the scripts and how they go through. So we have one which is like a single page item, so I can go through the pages, and another one actually got multiple items on the screen you can scroll through. These are controlled partially by several options. You can have buttons or the scroll bars on the scroll rect and things like that. All nice and useful. Now, onto the more juicier things. So if I go and add an image, let's have a look on our first new shader controls, which they're both masks at the end of the day. So if I look at the UI image crop mask, now what this will do is they'll take the base image that the script is attached to, and it will literally just crop it. So if I set this down to a value, it's now cropping that image down to the corner, but using a shader within the bounds of the way that works. And then you can change these values to alter up or down, how that will fill in. Only limitation of this control, it only works in the top left at present, so hopefully that can be improved in the future. What the author of this uses this for is for things like progress bars or for health bars and things like that. It's a much more light way of implementing that level if you just need to put on the screen a percentage of how something's filling in and so on. Nice things to use. You could obviously use the new Unity 2D Rec mask, which is also a behind the scenes a shader based implementation of doing masking. But the difference here is that this control alters within the bounds of the game object that you're actually working within of the image, whereas the 2D Rec mask is more of a case it works with the bounds of the Rec transform, so you'd have to alter that to change the mask. Different ways, as ever, multiple implementations of what you can do. Right, now for my most favorite addition to this, coming from a friend of mine, it's called Charles Humphrey, who is by all accounts a shader god, as accounted by a lot of people. He's also helped out a lot of games, and people make use of all these things. And for us, he's actually thrown together a new alpha masking control. So what this is that this allows you to not just have a hard mask, which is what you have today with both this new UI cutout mask and also for the Unity masks themselves. They're a hard mask, it's on or off, display or not, within the bounds. This says, right, no, I want to have an alpha gradient across it based upon an alpha image, meaning is that you can have different levels of masking throughout the control based upon what those are. To really show this off, I've got some extra things. So I've got a nice little texture here. So I've got a nice little background texture there. I'm going to go and add this new soft mask script. Lots of things. You can control the area that is affected by the mask. It doesn't have to be the control it is, which is what it defaults to. It could be the entire screen. And what we'll do here is we're going to add my favorite mask. So this is simply an alpha image, which has a different alpha value throughout the image itself. By default, you'll get bleed through from the background image into the foreground based upon what the alpha values are of your masking image. And then we can control that to show how much it does. Now look at that. How cool is that? After a bit of strong arming, I also asked them to put a hard option in so that there's no bleeding effect from the background. You're controlling just the image as well. And so there you go. You can apply the masking effect there. And this is just an alpha image, so I can change this for another one. And there you go, exact same shader, and there we go. I'm now using a spherical mask. Or you can get crazy, and here we've got a box one, which just gets, this one just gets weird of things out. But obviously this can be any kind of image that you want to use and how you want it to work. I just love this one. It's just great. I want to use that. I want to use that on my games as for a full screen image. You know, I want to put this full screen, put this hard mod, and then say, right, zooming in. It just looks excellent. Oh, there we go. I love our community contributors out there. They give us some great things all packaged up into this one place for you to use. So one last thing in this update is that I've made one slight addition to all these listeners site. I'm probably going to do some more work tweaking the page, all the lists up of all the items on here, but I've added this new donate column. And now again, completely optional, but please help to support some of these contributors. So Charles is actually going to be listing his soft alpha mask components on the asset store for people to buy. If you find a lot of use out of this and you really like it, please consider like either buying his asset or donating to them somehow. I shall put links and things up on the site for where those options are available. You know, some community people are like myself. I'm just giving this away because this is what I like doing. But I'm crazy. I am nuts. But this is the hard work of a lot of hardworking people. So please support them if you can, if they choose to have those options, and keep on out there. So that's it for me for this update. And I hope you enjoy the package and enjoy the new update. Any requests and things, just log issue on the Bitbucket site. As you can see, we've got quite a few requests here for different changes and things as part of the project. Quite a lot of them are mine, which I'll try and get down to at some point. But time is limited. I have a full-time job, so it's hard to put time into this, but when I do with passion. Anyway, that's a long 10 minutes update, so I hope you enjoy the project, and I shall get recording the individual videos for the controls as soon as I can. Right, happy UIing.